Conversations with the Killer. The Ted Bundy Tapes is the shocking 4-part documentary series streaming on Netflix now. The documentary was released ahead of the new film Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, starring Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. Both the documentary and the film were directed by Joe Bellina. During the 1970s, Bundy escaped from prison twice, which allowed him to commit more murders. But how did he manage to escape exactly? How did Ted Bundy escape? American serial Ted Bundy escaped from prison twice in the 1970s. The first escape was from Pitkin County Courthouse, Aspen, in June 1977, and the second in December 1977 from Garfield County Jail, Aspen. The longest time Bundy was on the run was for approximately 45 days, during which he is thought to have had at least 3 people in Florida. Read on to find out more about the 2 escapes. How did Carol Duronk escape Ted Bundy? Escape 1, Pittman County Courthouse Escape, June 7, 1977. Ted Bundy first escaped from Pittman County Courthouse in June 1977 for 6 days in total. Bundy was serving time at the Garfield County Jail for kidnap and assault of Carol Duronk in Utah, 1974. On June 7, he was taken to Pitkin County Courthouse in Aspen for a preliminary hearing. Bundy was serving as his own attorney and as a result, did not have to wear handcuffs or leg shackles. During a break in the preliminary hearing, Bundy was granted permission to spend time in the courthouse's library to research his case. When the guard who had been standing outside the library door on watch returned to the library, Bundy was gone. Bundy had jumped down 25 feet out of a second-floor window of the courthouse, only spraining his ankle. He shed his court clothes and hiked southward towards Aspen Mountain. An audio recording of Bundy that features in the documentary Conversations with the Killer, the Ted Bundy Tapes, details how he practiced jumping off his bed and running the length of his cell to prepare for the escape. On the run, he broke into a hunting cabin and stole food, clothing and a rifle. On June 10, he broke into another camping trailer on Maroon Lake, taking food to survive. Instead of continuing on, he headed back north to Aspen and stole a car at the edge of Aspen Golf Course. Giving in to the hunger, cold and sleep deprivation, he then drove back into Aspen. It was revealed in the audio tapes with journalists Stephen McCord and Hugh Answorth. Bundy was caught by 2 police officers who noticed his reckless driving and pulled him over. He was taken back to his cell at Garfield County Jail. Who is Bill Hagmaier? What did Ted Bundy tell him? Escape 2, Garfield County Jail, December 1977. Instead of accepting defeat from his first escape and serving the rest of his sentence at Garfield County Jail, Bundy began planning his second escape. He continued to plan despite the fact the courts were practically ruling in his favor to not try him for the murder of Karen Campbell. Bundy was able to acquire a floor plan of the jail and a hacksaw blade from other inmates to assist him in his escape. He also received money which was smuggled in over a 6-month period by visitors. His friend and later wife, Carol Ann Boone, was one of the people who aided Bundy in his second escape, according to Ann Rule in her 2009 book The Stranger Beside Me. In the evenings, using the hacksaw, Bundy made a hole in the ceiling while the other prisoners were showering. According to Time magazine, he lost 16 kilograms to be able to fit through the tight crawl space. Above his cell was the apartment of the chief jailer, who happened to be out on the evening of December 30, 1977. Bundy changed into the jailer's civilian clothes and walked out of the prison's front doors undetected. He then stole a car, caught a bus to Denver and then a flight to Chicago within 24 hours. From there he made his way to Michigan, Atlanta, and then boarded a bus to Tallahassee, Florida, arriving on January 8, 1978. Prison officers did not discover Bundy had escaped until 12 p.m. on December 31, 17 hours later. How did Ted Bundy die? In Florida, he rented an apartment under the name Chris Hagen, and on January 15, 1978, he attacked 4 women at Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority house, murdering 2 of the victims. He then went on to attack Cheryl Thomas in the same evening in her apartment, 8 blocks away from the Chi Omega sorority house. Then on February 8, 1978, he attacked a 12-year-old Kimberly Diane Leach. Bundy then stole a car on February 12, 1978, and was stopped 3 days later by a Pensacola police officer who was suspicious of Bundy's driving and the make of vehicle, which was registered as stolen. He arrested Bundy for driving a stolen vehicle, and when a search of Volkswagen Beetle was carried out, police found 3 sets of female IDs, 21 stolen credit cards and a stolen television. Bundy then stood trial for the Chi Omega murders and assaults in June 1979, and 6 months later stood trial in Orlando for the murder of Kimberly Leach. In the 2 separate trials, he received 3 death sentences, 2 of which were for the individual Chi Omega murder victims. Bundy was executed by the electric chair at Florida State Prison on January 24, 1989. Conversations with the Killer, The Ted Bundy Tapes is streaming on Netflix now. This article contains affiliate links, which means we may receive a commission on any sales of products or services we write about. This article was written completely independently. See more details here.